Yesterday. But I have been promised that Dr. Kathy Friedman will tell me how to turn the hands of time back so that by the end of this show, I'm going to be 25 again. That's right. That's right. So we'd be very excited to hear that information. But before that happens, I'd like to bring out the rest of Improv Science Theater 4000.
I'm not a scientist. But everybody in here thinks we're pretty smart. Might be the smartest improv team at 3K's. We actually have a doctor. Don't encourage him. We've been arguing backstage about who is the smartest person on our team. And we decided to settle this with a game, and you're going to help us figure out who's the smartest person on our team as we play a game called Tableau. Now, my performers are going to start milling about the stage, getting real crazy, just moving about. Start moving. Milling. Mill, move. For a while, and freeze. And split yourselves into 3 distinct groups. Now, from you, I'm going to need a suggestion. I would like a suggestion of a time period, any time period you want.
Renaissance.
The Renaissance. Our performers will now form into what they think embodies the Renaissance. They have 3 seconds to prepare. 1, 2, 3. Now, I would like you to vote on who you think is doing the best by applauding, so let's practice applauding. So how do we feel? Do we like Lindsay and Libby's? Do we like Tom and MC's? Do we like Bill, Seth, and Paige? I think Libby and Lindsay had the least in that one, despite what Jones wants. So Libby and Lindsay are out of here. They're going to get off the stage. And of course, we're going to go back to milling about. Just moving around, go around. Mill about. And freeze. And split into 2 distinct groups. Now, I would like a suggestion of a scientific concept. You know, like gravity, or time, or... Attraction. C-O-S, attraction in 1, 2, 3.
They're fun.
How do we feel about Chrissy, Seth, and Bill? About Paige and Tom. That's a close one, but I think Paige and Tom are winners. Attraction can only do between 2 things, right? That's how magnets work. Alright, now we got our final 2 potential smartest people. Y'all just spin around in a circle for a minute. Alright, let's go first. Split yourselves into 2 distinct groups. Now, for the final piece, I need a scientist. It could be a real scientist, a cartoon scientist, any kind of scientist you think of. Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Ready for that? In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. These are both pretty good, so I think we're going to add a little bit here. I'm going to give them one chance to say 1 line of dialogue to convince you that they are the best Dexter. Tom, your line?
Dee Dee, get out of my laboratory!
Pretty good, Paige.
omelette du fromage.
How many people like Tom's? How many like Paige's? Paige is the winner.
As the smartest person in the room, I would like to welcome the actual smartest person in the room, Dr. Kathy Friedman.
We can just go ahead to the next slide. So what I'd like to do today is just spend a few minutes telling you a little bit about what we work on in my lab. So my lab is interested in telomeres, and you might wonder what telomeres are. So what's shown up here are human chromosomes. They're beautiful, aren't they? And these are critical to us, right? We need to have DNA to be what we are. And so chromosomes consist of two very long DNA molecules, at least these chromosomes here that have undergone replication. Students, remember all this from last semester? Yeah. And so shown in pink on here is the centromere. This is the part of the chromosome that's going to help those two DNA molecules separate to different cells during mitosis. And shown in turquoise at the end are the telomeres. So if we go to the next slide. So what telomeres consist of are a very specific DNA sequence. It's shown here is TTA, GGG, and it's repeated sometimes thousands of times at the ends of our chromosomes. If you go to the next slide. So what telomeres do is they help distinguish the normal end of a chromosome from a broken end. So you can see in this picture here where the arrows are that chromosomes break. In fact, while you're all sitting here listening to me, you have chromosome breaks occurring in your cells, and your cells are busy repairing those breaks. So when a chromosome breaks like this, the cell has to put those two ends back together. But you can imagine that it's critical that the cell not try to repair the normal end of the chromosome. And if you look here at this picture, you would think there's no way to really tell the two apart. So that's the key to telomeres. By having that specific DNA sequence, the end of the chromosome is telling the cell, leave me alone, I'm a normal chromosome end, and really capping the end of that chromosome. So to help you remember that, put on my telomere cap. All right, so next slide. So what happens if something happens to our telomeres? Okay, and that's, we can see that here. So this was done experimentally in the lab. And what we're seeing in that top left picture there is what happens if telomeres are defective. And you can see that now the cell is actually treating the chromosome end as a break, and it's trying to repair that break by fusing the chromosomes together. And then, now that you have two chromosomes that are fused together, when the cells try to divide, the next time those chromosomes can't separate correctly, they get pulled apart and the DNA breaks, and it creates an absolutely catastrophic mess. Okay? So our telomeres are critical for maintaining the stability of our genome. Yeah.
That's in 1988.
So, and this particular work was done, yeah, actually quite a long time ago already. Yeah. All right, next slide. So, you might wonder why you have this up. So, I just told you how important our telomeres are, okay? But unfortunately, our telomeres shorten as we age, and so I like to use this picture. Wow, the color's a little weird. But this is me 25 years ago, so that baby is now my 25-year-old daughter with my grandma and my mom. But I just use it to illustrate that, you know, my grandma's telomeres were shorter than my mom's. Mine are now a lot shorter than they were when this picture was taken. So if we go to the next slide. So this would be a problem, right? If our telomeres continue to shorten, and we passed on those short telomeres to our children, we would not be around here very long as a species. So luckily our cells actually have a way to regenerate our telomeres. And this is an enzyme called telomerase, which is shown in this very strange cartoon here that doesn't resemble the actual molecule at all. What it's illustrating is that this enzyme is able to actually add these telomere repeats to the end of the chromosome and replenish the telomere sequence that are lost. So I think that brings up this question. If our cells have an enzyme that can lengthen our telomeres, okay, then why don't we make that enzyme in all of our cells? Because in fact, this enzyme really only works in our germ cells so that we can pass on long telomeres to our children, and in some of our stem cells that have to give rise to cells that proliferate a lot. So go to the next slide. So we think the reason for this is that the lack of telomerase in most of our cells is actually a really important mechanism for limiting cell division. So our cells begin with long telomeres when we're very young, and every time our cell divides, because the chromosome can't be completely replicated, the telomeres shorten a little bit. And eventually that actually triggers a stop on cell division. Cell knows I've divided enough, and it stops dividing. Okay? Like many drivers in Nashville, however, there are some cells that stop paying attention, that don't pay attention to that stop sign. They continue to divide, and as they do so, they're eventually going to die from their short telomeres. And so these cells that are mutated or in some way abnormal are prevented from continuing to grow. But very rarely a cell turns telomerase back on, and this can lead to cancer. So we actually think that the reason that we don't express telomerase in most of our cells is to allow us to appropriately limit the division of our cells. All right, so next slide. All right, so that's it for right now. I'm going to come back after the intermission, and what I'm going to tell you about next is how the shortening, or whether, we'll address whether the shortening of the telomeres actually causes us to age.
Intelligence, really impressive. Time to bring your standards down. My name's Libby. Right now we're going to be playing a game called Lab Partners. So we are going to take one word suggestion from each of you guys, and you're going to see 4 different scenes. So let's just kick it off. For Bill and Paige, give me a word that you heard from Dr. Kathy's lecture.
Cell division.
Cell division. Okay, rotate right. For Sam and Paige.
Grandmother.
Cancer. Great. Rotate right. For Seth and Sam.
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Rotate right. And for Bill and Seth.
Baby.
1988. Let's go ahead and rotate and review. Okay.
Cell division.
Got it.
Cancer.
Grandmother.
1988.
Alright, rotate right and let's begin.
Smiths.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, I think they're in love.
Oh, you see that too? Yeah.
The little like pink dot. I think it's a gift.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I think that the cells are. I think they're gonna make it.
I really hope so, because for a long time, I was noticing that there was a divide between the two. Other one didn't bring the left side flowers, and they were feeling really upset, but, I really hope that they're gonna make it.
Yeah. I named them after us.
Yeah, if you want to be cool, you got a crab walk around these. You want to be cool, don't you?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, okay. Is this right?
No, you're in the right mood, you're in the right position, but you gotta feel the crab.
Okay,
Imagine you got a hard outer shell but a soft, delicious inside.
Okay, I already feel like smooth and buttery. Is that
No, that doesn't happen until you've been murdered.
Nobody talks about murder.
Well, you gotta get in that mindset too. We gotta hunt to eat.
Oh, you're gonna have a great time with your grandmother on vacation.
Dad, I don't want to go see Grandma.
Well, the little Pac-Man's eating away at me, so I don't have much time left. You gonna die, Dad? You gonna die? I'm the one with bad vision. I'm your grandmother.
What? So confused. I think I inherited your bad vision. If I were my dad.
Well, we better hurry up and pack so we can have one last good time.
We got pack?
I thought, I just put things in the drawer.
Okay, I can put things in the drawer.
No, I did. I did not want to.
What do you want to do, Grandma?
Now I don't know. I thought we were going on vacation.
Go on vacation. Where do you want to go?
Maybe warm.
Somewhere warm?
Warm.
We can go somewhere warm, Grandma.
Okay. Now let me get some swimsuits. I don't want to help you with this, but
You're gonna appreciate this when you're older. Okay? These are mementos of us
yeah.
in the present year 1980.
Yes. A time capsule. But old stuff is stupid, so if I like it now, I'm not gonna like it later.
Don't say that. When you're older, you're gonna really appreciate the things that you remember.
I appreciate it now. Why would I bury it? Possibly have more fun with it. 30 years from now, I'm gonna hate these things.
Am I the bad guy in this? So it's just the cell on the right just kind of is not really feeling appreciated.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that from there.
Yeah, I've been paying a lot of attention lately. And I've been making charts and data about how often the cell on the right is being neglected, while the cell on the left goes out for a night with the girls.
Night out with the girls makes the cell just wants to make sure that they don't blow up at the cell on the right.
The cell on the right appreciates that. The cell on the right totally appreciates that.
But if it's feeling neglected, you don't want to know the wrath of the cell on the left. If she doesn't blow off some steam with her girlfriend.
Okay.
What did your chart say about that?
It's not really important anymore.
Yeah, crabs is over. Now we'll do monkey things. Show me your monkey. We learned nothing.
Crabs were already tricky, okay? Now,
We made it closer for you. We're trying to help you. That's closer to human than crab.
okay, all right, okay.
Be a monkey. What's...
Banana.
That's offensive.
Okay, right.
No, sweetheart, let's stay out a little longer.
Grandma, we... Too warm? Sunburns?
I'm not burnt. We've only been out here for like 20 minutes.
Grandma, it's been 3 hours. You haven't moved. I thought you died.
I'm very much alive. Now I'm ready.
Pass?
For the I meant to do more vacation things.
Okay, what else do you want to do?
I just want to lay here a little longer.
Grandma, it's been 3 hours. I think you've laid here enough.
Oh my God. There's no clocks on vacation.
Alright, you can lay here a little bit longer, Grandma, but then we're going to have to go get something to eat because I'm hungry.
Okay, just a little longer.
Okay, it's on a 10-second timer. And is that the tie you're really going to wear?
You said I can wear whatever I want.
It's a family photo. Everyone's gonna judge our family because you don't look good because you want to wear your quirky tie.
My Looney Tunes are timeless. I could wear this in the picture, it's fine. It'll age very well.
You really think so?
You're wearing that stupid outfit.
Okay.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Paige, and we are now going to have a panel of experts. And as you can see, we have 3 experts up here on stage right now. Wave, please, experts. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we actually are going to need a topic for each expert to be an expert about. So for MC, what is something that what topic of expertise?
Pick one name.
Turning 40.
All right, we're gonna have 2 more. So who's the loudest? One more.
Turning 40.
Okay. Turning 40, I think we can do that. Do it? Okay, great. And can we get one for Tom? Leprechauns! Leprechauns. And one more? Penguin! We're gonna go with some penguins. Okay, so now that we have our experts, let's meet them.
Hello, I am Gloria Going Well, and I'm an expert on turning 40.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gloria.
Top of the morning. I am Seamus O'Malley O'Callahan, and I'm certified the world's tallest leprechaun.
Thank you so much.
Penny Winnie. I think it's pretty obvious. I'm an expert on penguins.
Thank you so much. Okay, now that we've met our experts, do we have any questions that we're just dying to know the answers to? Excellent question. I just wanted to know that question. What do penguins taste like, Gloria?
As I was writing out my bucket list for entering middle age, a trip to Antarctica came up. And so I emailed my travel expert friend, and they said that penguins taste like chicken was their assessment. But I can't personally attest. Still on the bucket list.
Seamus?
Oh Lordy, let me tell you about the taste of the penguin. So when we were developing the Lucky Charms, we had some flavors, and we were like, okay, hearts, rainbows, doubloons, chocolate rainbows, penguins, and we tried the penguin, and it was magical, but not for all of you non-Irish lads, so we kept it for ourselves.
I'm offended by the hostility in this room. Penguins are not to be eaten. That's why penguins aren't in Ireland.
Not anymore.
Sorry, I respectfully decline to answer the question. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Well, moving on quickly. Can we get a second question?
Why doesn't my dishwasher work?
Why doesn't their dishwasher work? Seamus, we will start with you this time.
I
I can tell over there she's not from Ireland. Dishwashers only work if you believe in the magic of the rainbow, like I do. So that's why after my cereal, all my dishes are clean.
Maybe it's because you ate too much penguin. Pipes! Or maybe you just need to call a plumber. I don't know. It's probably not that hard.
Good points. Gloria?
Well, your dishwasher doesn't work because you have been talked into the American dream, and it's a scam. So you're trying to make the ends meet with the mortgage and the 3 kids and the 5 jobs, and the dishwasher just can't fucking hold up!
And do we have time for one more question?
Are you married?
Wow. Just in general?
You know what? We'll take another question.
Yes, she is, and we can beat you up.
No, I like that one. They know. Experts.
I was married.
Yeah.
He's here. I told you to stay home. But he came, so. And I never did, so.
Yes.
Yes, I think I'll stand up for this one. As the tallest leprechaun that there ever was, we get married as soon as we kiss that first person. And when I looked at the Blarney Stone, I was like, come here and give me one, you big rock. And now I have a little rock in my finger.
Oh, I think that's a lovely note to end on. Thank you for
Alright, how's it going, y'all? My name is Bill. I'm not a scientist, but I did graduate from Vanderbilt. Film degree. In this next piece, we'll be experimenting with something I'm very familiar with. Wishing someone made a different choice. In this piece, we'll be making revisions of what has already happened, and in order to do so, I'll be ringing this bell. And as soon as I ring the bell, whatever was just said or done is erased from history, and they will make a new choice in its place. Does that make sense for y'all? Fantastic. So, let's get our performers started with a suggestion of a location of some sort. Maybe one the size of this stage. So not like a football arena, but like the what?
At the top of a bus, parentheses moving.
That's the best suggestion I've heard in a while. The top of a bus, parentheses, moving.
Hey, could you slow down the bus?
Stop harassing him, he's working!
It's just we're going real fast. I didn't bring a chair. I'm mad that you brought a chair. Can I sit in the chair?
Will you stop harassing the bus driver?
Yes. Okay.
You brought a seatbelt for the chair?
No, it's just rope. It's just like, I thought we might like do, fall off and I need a rope to like grab a branch and then just hold on for dear life. I thought I need a rope to hang myself after I'm done with this.
We need to have a discussion. It shouldn't happen on the top of a moving bus, but it's gonna have to happen.
Okay.
You're very You are so paranoid recently. I feel like you're having an existential crisis because everything's turning into a hanging situation.
I was not ready for this level of adventure in our relationship. I was like, yeah, we can go. I thought we were going like on an amusement park ride. I thought we were going to Disneyland. I thought we were going to your mom's house and have a nice day. And you said, I said, should we drive? He said, no, we're going to ride the bus. I thought, okay, cool, we can ride the bus. And then you put a chair on the bus. And then you get on the bus, but like on top of the bus.
So look, we didn't have the money to afford the tour bus. So I wanted to make this feel like a tour because I haven't been on an adventure since the freaking beginning of COVID. Okay, this is my adventure! Why are you doing this to me?
I don't know! I'm supporting you!
You're not supporting me, you're yelling at the bus driver! You're hanging yourself with rope! That's no support! That's the worst support ever!
I mean,
I
okay.
even brought my binocular! Ow!
Shit! Goddamn you kids! Fuck, I love it when I get hit by shit.
I don't have anything else to throw at you, man. I got one more thing.
Got a knife?
Oh yeah!
I think I'm gonna go after this guy. He's got a lot more adventurous spirit. Hey, bus driver! Yo, bus driver!
You? Hey, shut up! No. I can be adventurous. I don't need a rope. I just need my rope for security.
Alright, everyone's coming back up on stage here. We are going to play a game called Thesis Defense. So, if anybody has ever gone to, try and become a doctor, apparently this is what they do. They like talk and they're like, am I smart? And they say yes or no. So, we're going to do that here. One person is going to step out and start talking about something that you choose us to talk about. And if at any time anyone in the back line doesn't agree with what they're saying, they're going to clap and say objection.
Objection!
And then we're going to be like, okay, what's your objection? And if we like what they say, then they will take the front and start talking about that subject. If we don't like what they talk, then they can stay in the back. Cool? All right, we got 2 minutes on the clock. So let's get us a suggestion.
Animal theory.
Birth. I totally love birth. Hold on, I gotta go. Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, let's go.
I
Birth.
got lots to say about birth. I birthed 2 children.
Woo!
I did this without taking drugs. It hurts a lot. I just go ahead and say that, but I was more scared of the giant needle that they shove in your back if you ask for the drugs than I was of birthing the child. So there you go. When you birth a baby, you think like, oh, I'm the new mom and I get to relax. No, they send doctors in over and over again.
If you took drugs, you could have relaxed. Drugs got a bad rap. There are good drugs, and that's it. We have severely harmed many populations with like messed up drug laws. We need to decriminalize every single drug. I want to be shooting up H by the end of the week. So I think we need to just get that done, and like society will repair itself, right?
Potholes aren't getting repaired anytime soon.
Absolutely true. So go ahead and take
I can't trust society to repair itself. I see every single day driving down any given highway in Nashville what can only be described as the worst roads I've ever seen.
Objection!
Yes,
I lived in Texas for 6 years.
Are you saying Texas has worse roads than
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know Texas yet.
I do.
New Orleans is fucking worse.
Anywhere but Tennessee.
Okay, Tom, go ahead.
Okay. I lived in Texas for 6 years, and I drive a shitty Kia Sportage. It's the biggest car ever, but everywhere around me was Ford 4x4s everywhere.
Objection. I find that hard to believe. There's more space than cars. Boy, goes on forever.
Objection!
Objection. Seth.
Like space, I think of it as like one thing. So like it's just one together thing. You know? So,
I really want to know what the concept of space being one thing is.
so like you don't say spaces when you
Objection! I say space.
So, come on.
Yeah. We're all familiar with what spaces are. They're like.
Objection! We're all familiar with trading spaces.
Let's talk about trading spaces.
Trading Spaces is my mom and I's favorite TV show.
Objection! Your mom really likes young Sheldon. Tom's mom loves the little scientist.
Tom's mom's very disappointed in a little scientist named Tom. I met Tom's mom. She told me, man, I made a mistake. Defended. I'm going to tell you, we're going to take a brief 10-minute intermission. Go get some drinks, go to the bathroom, tip your bartenders, come back in 10 minutes. We got more science. That was intermission. Want to see some more show?
So I shouldn't be really talking at a science show. The closest I've gotten to science is brewing beer. Yeah, I didn't actually brew it. I helped friends brew it for work. And okay, I didn't brew it. I didn't even help. I watched and then I drank it. So, so we're gonna welcome up. Get some round of applause for Kathy. When she's done, we'll do some scenes for you.
Come on, Kathy.
Alright, so I promised you that we would talk about whether the shortening of our telomeres causes us to age. So what's shown here is a graph. Actually, this is a study of about 16,000 people in Denmark, and they measured their telomere length and graphed it against their age, and you can see that there is a correlation. So in general, if you're younger, you have longer telomeres. If you're older, you have shorter telomeres, but there is a huge variation in the population, right? So I was actually watching a TV show one time, and the detective said, we're going to figure out how old this person was by measuring their telomere length. He's 43. That is not going to work. Okay, so, and I will say, right, we understand there's a difference between correlation and causation, right? So just because my hair is gray, which you can't tell because I dye it, but to look like Tom, because we teach together, so he's accused me of making red hair, so that we but anyway, so now I lost my train of thought. So even though my hair is getting gray, that is not what's causing me to look, right? If you can go to the next slide, please. But there does seem to be some evidence that telomere length is at least playing somewhat of a factor role in aging, although it's clearly not being proven today. And so you can see here a study in which they found that people who had longer telomeres in general were living longer. Unfortunately, there's some really additional bad news associated with this, is that there's also studies showing that chronic long-term stress also causes telomere shortening. My telomeres have shortened a lot in the last 30 minutes. So, go to the next slide. often nail and intestinal dystrophy, bone marrow failure, and kind of premature aging in general. The bone marrow failure in particular, this is failure of certain cells of the body to be able to proliferate long term. So that probably makes sense to you from what I told you earlier, the fact that our telomeres shorten as cells divide. And so this is a family tree here, and the affected individuals are shown in the darkened symbols. And what's really fascinating about this disease is it actually gets worse through generations. So by the time you get to the third generation, people are showing symptoms at age 15 or so, when their grandparents didn't show symptoms until they were quite a bit older. So it's been found that this disease is actually caused by mutation in a component of this enzyme telomerase that maintains telomeres. So in this family, not only do people have short telomeres themselves, but they're not able to replenish their telomeres as they pass them to their children, and so the disease gets worse and worse in every generation. You can go to the next slide. So don't try to look at this whole chart, but what this shows is that, in fact, there are a number of diseases that have been associated with telomere shortening. These are called telomeropathies. We like to invent words like that. And also shown on the bottom of the chart are a number of lifestyle choices that, and other aspects of our daily lives that have been shown to be associated at least with telomere shortening. You can go to the next slide. All right, so basically what I've told you is that we have a really delicate balance in terms of our telomeres. If we have too little telomerase activity, then we have limited cell renewal and the process of aging. If we have too much telomerase activity, this can lead to cancer, okay? And in fact, there are also human diseases where telomeres or telomerase is overactive, and that's been associated with melanoma. You can go to the next slide. So what do I do in my lab? I haven't actually told you I did that yet. So in my lab, we brew beer. We don't, but we do use yeast, and it's actually the same species that's used to brew beer and to bake bread. And we use yeast as a single-cell organism to study mechanisms of cell function. So the reason we do this is yeast grows very quickly. It's easy to manipulate. It actually smells really good. And yeast telomeres are maintained in very similar ways to the ways that human telomeres are maintained. And in fact, the yeast telomerase enzyme is very similar to the human enzyme. But when I'm done with my experiment, throw a little bleach on and put it down the sink. All right, you can go to the next slide. And so just very briefly, the kinds, because I don't just want to get to the rest of the copy, right? But the kind of questions that we're addressing in my lab are how the components of the telomerase enzyme interact to form a functional complex, how telomerase is regulated during cell division, so it turns out it's not active at the same level during all parts of cell division. How is the length of telomeres regulated? We can imagine that's a really important question when we're thinking about a lot of the aspects I just been talking about. And then finally, what we've been interested in most recently really is how does telomerase know the difference between a telomere and a broken chromosome end? Turns out that sometimes telomerase actually mistakenly acts on one of those broken ends and adds a new telomere. And that's been found associated with some human diseases where the end of the chromosome is lost and therefore subsequently So I just want to give a shout out to the people in my lab who actually do all this work. Katrina managed to get 3 of these pictures somehow. She's one of my graduate students. And then I'm just going to take one more minute to just tell you a quick little story. So I've actually given a similar talk to this for parents who are coming to Vanderbilt and dropping their children off for graduate school. And when I was making this presentation years ago, I realized just how insidious Google is. Okay, so if you go to the next slide. So I had to Google a picture of a balance, right? Because I showed you the balance of telomere lengthening. And this was the very first, this is an absolute true story. So the very first picture that came up. And I thought, I think I see something written on there. So I clicked on it to enlarge it. Next slide. So yeah, they know way, way, way too much about you. But I'm here to say that you actually can't do both. So these are my lovely children. The daughter in the middle is the one you saw before. It's a little tiny baby. So, great. So thank you so much. I've enjoyed telling you about my work and looking forward to the rest of the show.
I thought this was just gonna be always kind of showing up and just taking the stage, Patricia. Like, it can't just be me and Danny.
I was on the rehearsal schedule, Gina.
I don't remember saying your name. Okay?
Yeah, there was no Patricia.
No, I didn't see it. Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah. It's like somebody removed it or something, but it wasn't there originally.
Okay, well, last time I checked the Google Doc, it was there.
Well, it's not anymore.
I feel like you just, like you want me out. Like this is, what is this?
If it's your choice, you know? If that's what you want, we'll support you.
Look. There can only be 2 horses in this play, and your tail is just too long.
My tail is the exact right.
Did your mom tell you that?
These horses are 43. Your tail is speaking a little too 25.
All right. You know what? I was warned that when I made it to this level at such a young age, that I would be coming up against this kind of thing. But I would just expect that. Don't you guys are my friends?
We were.
And so, like, you just entered your 40s and now you're ditching me?
For 3 years, we've been really thinking about this, so the fact that we let you hear this long,
Really?
that is true friendship.
Yeah, we're like the best people here right now.
Okay. I am the one that knows where the coolest cars are. I am the one that still has access to the graduate school library. Guys!
I gotta put my costume on. This is a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, and again, your name is not on it.
All right, good luck.
Hey, honey, how was the dress rehearsal? The Dow is down. I'm sorry, I didn't. They kicked you out?
They kicked me out.
Is your name on the Google Doc?
That's what I said. Just checked it. Okay.
You know, so maybe you're not in the play, but at least you still have a lot of great friends, right?
I've been wearing this hat for a year, my dear Johnny. July 1st, 1988, Johnny and Sam's anniversary.
Anniversary of.
I wore the hat for a year. Johnny.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. 'Cause the whole year was not the anniversary. And honestly, the hat kind of stinks. You haven't washed it.
I want you to remember something. I'm trying. You're giving me nothing, Johnny. I want this to work. $1. 4. 34 years of marriage.
How do you appreciate it? I gave you a whole dollar.
I worked my ass off to get tenure. And I just want you to remember one date that's on my head every morning.
But you've only been wearing it a year. It's been 29 of those years you were not wearing it.
Johnny, 34.
Quit bringing up your fucking math, okay? You just think 'cause you're smarter than me and I'm just a hot piece of ass.
Whatever this guy has to say in the interview, it's got to go through me. Whenever that guy comes out here, whatever he has to say, it's going through me too. I'm going to help you
Okay.
with this job.
Okay. Hello, hi.
Whoa, let him come to you.
This is my son, Charles.
Hi. I'm Charles.
Me, my
Okay.
Well, whatever you have to say goes through me. I'm going to help her.
So should I direct my questions?
We'll feel it out.
It's a little unorthodox. But that's
So
fine.
is my mom. She's an innovator.
We love innovation here. There's our Google. We flew here.
I have a resume, but I sent you a copy because you know it's Google, so you probably don't need the paper version. But if you do
We like redundancy here.
Take your time with the resume. I'd always be there for you.
You've got your son too.
Mom, this is a scare tech.
I'm not very scared. I think it's nice. I love the family environment.
You're showing your cards.
You're supposed to show your cards in a job interview, Charles.
Whatever.
You go with whatever you want. Feel it. Feel it out. That's what they always do.
Do you agree with the statement, do no evil?
Great question.
You are not evil.
Is that you or him?
I said you are not.
Did you hear me say something?
Am I supposed to talk to you to direct questions? I'm very
It's let's another question. What's your tech background? Where did you go to school?
Yeah, get him.
Okay. I went to MIT because I'm awesome.
MIT's a great school.
Bet you didn't go there.
No, I mean, yes. Which one do you want?
Looking at me.
Okay,
Yes. Nice. I've been looking at you too. Yeah. I just didn't think you would look at me because I have a bone marrow failure. It's weird, but I'm into it. People on the internet said that if I was my authentic self, my love would come. I just had all all this doubt with my bone marrow.
Why would you doubt that?
I don't need to doubt it anymore.
You don't.
I've been eyeing you for the last 5 years in our classes. High school, and not 1 year in junior high.
I have your protein shakes.
One of the things I love is protein. I have a personal servant that serves protein. It's kind of a perk.
How do you know my order though?
I have your fresh hemoglobin.
Hold on, I gotta drink this one real quick. If I don't take that one quick, it doesn't work so well.
How many servants do you have?
Approximately 12.
Oh my God. So are you rich?
Do you want it?
Your bars of solid gold, ma'am.
These looks are heavy! Here, I'll hold it for you.
No, that's my job. I hold the gold.
Thank you.
This is amazing. Who knew that falling in love with somebody whose bones are not quite right?
Oh, your leg looks.
Do I get any services of being, like with you, or is this just a you thing?
What do you want the answer to be?
Yeah.
Do you have any defense?
No, I'm perfect.
How do we help perfect?
Make her relatable.
Huh. Neat.
Orange hair dye.
Take one of them.
You wanna?
You want to impersonate some leprechauns?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Put it in.
I've only put on hair dye twice, and I always did it in the bathtub, so this is gonna be risky.
I'm open.
Alright, bend over.
Sorry, I said that.
I think it's working.
Man.
Well, maybe not if you're standing next to a non-ginger like me.
Yeah.
Here, let me try this.
Now we'll fool them all with our leprechaun. All we need is some gold. You know anybody holding gold? Oh yeah, that was quick.
Dad, have you been dating that bone marrow chick again? Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Thomas Clemens. That's right, an actual scientist. Please do not hold your applause at all. So, as all of you know, my science skills are packing. But my sexy thrills are lacking. But luckily, I have all my sexy friends with me. And we're going to finish up this show by trying a little stand-up for y'all. Some science stand-up where we compare our lovers to your scientific suggestions. Things like, for example, periodic tables. I like my women like I like my periodic tables, pinned up against a wall. So can I get a scientific suggestion, maybe something you heard tonight from Dr. Kathy? Or maybe something you've been shouting all night. I heard molecular.
Hold up. What?
I heard molecular orbital
Theory.
I got one. Don't worry. I like my women like I like molecular orbital theory. I learned it once as a sophomore in college and have not done shit since.
Tom's jerked himself off enough now. Can we get another scientific suggestion?
Photosynthesis!
I heard photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
I like my lovers like I like photosynthesis. Green light on the daytime, but they kind of put a stop to it at night.
I like my lovers like I like photosynthesis. I just absorb all of their energy.
I like my lovers like I like my photosynthesis, by which I mean I sit in the closet and take photos while they have sex with other people.
I like photosynthesis. That means they like feed themselves, right? So I don't have to do it.
Suggestion, please.
Water
Density.
cycle.
Magnetism.
I like my lovers like I like magnetism. I don't know how it works.
I like my lovers like I like magnetism. I don't have to work hard, they just attach to me.
I like my lovers like I like my magnetism. I'm really attracted to the South Poles.
I like my lovers like I like my magnetism. I'll let the tips touch, but I can't go any further than that.
Let's get another suggestion. Wait, say it one more time.
Apoptosis.
Apoptosis.
I like my lovers like I like my apoptosis. Hey, pop that toe in my mouth, sis.
Yes.
I like my lovers like I like my apoptosis. I'm a bit of a necrophiliac.
Is it dead? Dead?
Apoptosis is programmed cell death.
My lovers like I like my apoptosis. It's one and done.
Time for one more suggestion.
Flat Earth.
Astronomy.
Chromosomes.
Chromosomes.
I like my lovers like I like my chromosomes. We slowly drift apart.
I like my lovers like my chromosomes. So many X's and I don't know why. Cross-Science Theater 4000. We're going to be taking a little break until June 16th. So hit us up on the socials, keep a track of what's going on. Thank you all so much for coming out. Tip your bartenders. Have a great night.